Anti-ICE protesters have a stupid new way to fight Trump's immigration agenda. Activists have been clogging up the lines at a Home Depot in Southern California, where they buy 17-cent ice scrapers before getting in line to return the items. It's a way to denounce immigration raids at the hardware chain. Roll it, Lenny.
What are you buying today?
I'm buying ice scraper.
Oh, yeah. What are you buying today?
I am buying an anvil putty knife.
An ice scraper.
Yes,
That's
ice scraper.
And the Dems are also blowing off steam over ICE raids. Mad Maxine peppering Trump with one insult after another.
This is an important press conference that is being held to let you know what we're all doing, resisting this low-down, dirty, no-good, filthy president. How do you really?
So, Jessica, nothing gets people sympathetic to your cause by making their lives difficult. What is it with you leftists? Always throwing paint on things, causing disturbances, blocking traffic, and now attacking Home Depot. They had to close their business because of you people, Jessica. People like you.
No, not so much. But I did figure out why it was an ice scraper later than I should have.
Ice scraper.
Obviously, faux outrage over how Maxine Waters talks. Like we just played.
I don't care about that. I care about this. That's why I asked you this question, Jessica. Stick to the topic, please.
Okay, I'll stick to the topic, and I'll do what you love when I do, which is to say, Donald Trump has taken his best issue and thrown it in the gutter because of how immigration policy is being carried out. Because it's these kinds of stunts, there was a big investigation. ProPublica did it into that. Remember that September 30th, that night raid on the south side of Chicago apartment complex, where they used Black Hawk helicopters, and there were 300 agents from Border Patrol, SWAT teams, FBI agents. They're hauling people out of their houses, and they're saying, like, these are all Tren de Aragua. And guess what? Federal prosecutors haven't fired charges against anyone who was arrested. I wonder why that is. DHS says 2 Tren de Aragua members were arrested. ProPublica talked to one of them, no criminal record there, and no charges filed at this point. So when they did that slick video, right, you know, where Kristi Noem descends, right, and she has on her little vest, and she's standing there as Ice Barbie or whatever, like, it makes you think, why aren't you doing worst first and making good on your promises to the American people, not the mass deportation people, the average Americans who said, we don't want an open border. We want people who've committed crimes in this country on American soil to get out of here, instead of things that are just for, like, making a movie.
Jessica, you're like the person in a store.
I'm just perfect.
You're like the person in a store who knocks over a vase, and then you start criticizing the way the guy cleans it up.
No, it's more than that. And I've said, there have been over 170 Americans that have been taken into ICE custody that you cannot even say that this is being executed in the wrong way. It boggles my little mind.
Jessica, 2 million in 1 year are gone. So according to my calculations, that will be 8 million by the end of this term.
It won't be.
So when you get rid of 8 million illegals, you know what happens? Crime goes down, rent goes down, health insurance goes down, car insurance goes down. Those things
aren't happening.
Okay, we're just getting started, Jessica.
Okay.
It's supply and demand. What do you think is going to happen when you get 8 million?
At least we're getting started, Jessica. You guys didn't do crap.
That's not true.
It lowers everything. That means
deporting more
classrooms
people.
get lighter. That means everything goes down, Jessica. Wages go up, crime goes down. It's very simple. Even you can understand it. Now, why would ICE be at Home Depot? Why would these illegal aliens be at Home Depot? Because you said they weren't coming to steal jobs. You said they weren't coming to cut our wages and wire the money back to Honduras. You said they were fleeing persecution, and these were all asylees. They were just fleeing violence. Okay, again, everything you said was wrong. Home Depot's having a great quarter. Did you know they beat expectations? $41 billion in revenue. And when the rates drop, the stock's going to pop. That's how that works, too. I'd invest in Home Depot.
Kennedy, what is your take on this?
Thank you, Charles Payne.
I'm 0.1%.
Okay, so I do agree that the big worry here when you have federal law enforcement going into towns is they don't know the people that they're arresting. They're not embedded in these communities, and that is by virtue of the sanctuary cities. And I agree with you. I agree with anyone who lives in these places. You want the worst out first. Absolutely. And the best way to do that is to work with local law enforcement, because that protects innocent people who are working here, hardworking, trying to create a better life for them and their families. And the American dream has always welcomed people like that. So if you're worried about people like that getting ensnared in this net, and I don't disagree with you there. I mean, that is a failure of the system. Then don't have sanctuary policies that disallow local law enforcement from providing intelligence to ICE and other federal law enforcement, so they can tell them, like, we've arrested these guys 5 times. We know these guys are gang members. We know these guys are sex traffickers. We know that guy over there is probably a child molester because he hangs out at a park by himself 5 days a week, because that's what local law enforcement does. That's how they acquire intelligence. But they can't do that because of people like Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker and even Maxine Waters. What the hell has she done with her tenure in Congress other than be an absolute mouth-farting blowhard?
Mouth-farting, you say? Is that possible? I do think that this is a trend in every issue with Democrats. It's compassion without accountability. You bring in the accountability, they hate the process. But I want to ask you about the reality of this Home Depot. Imagine being a cashier. I mean, wouldn't you find a new use for that ice scraper?
Violent.
No.
And also, I feel like, as we always talk about, it is a luxury to go out into the world and be an activist in the way that you deem disruptive and fighting back, when really you are taxing the people who actually are there to put food on the table. Those cashiers that are there working really hard on behalf of those that enjoy stunts in their name. And we talk about the alleged 170 Americans in the custody, and I feel for anyone going through anything at the hands of a bureaucracy or a structure that's larger than they are. But let's also talk about the 113,000+ illegal immigrants with massive criminal histories arrested just in 2024, which included over 3,000 with homicides. Where are those activists? Where were they at the funerals of Bambi Larson and Jocelyn Nungari and Laken Riley? Jocelyn Nungari in the trial for those illegal immigrants, she wasn't killed, but you get my point, that I feel that the crickets we hear with all of these people patting themselves on the back, and including the Maxine Waters, they're flying over to Venezuela and they're flying to El Salvador and let's have martinis, and not one of them is calling an angel mom. Not one of them is actually articulating the pain that Americans feel, whether it's from drunk drivers or whether it's from recidivist criminals and homicides and rapes and so much more, to even acknowledge the presence and the delusion that I see with these people who are then called faux outrage about it. Her words matter. Maxine Waters' words matter. And it is a tragedy and a travesty to me that she still holds office and she is somehow forgiven, because whether it's that she's old or quirky or curmudgeon-y, and somehow she is allowed to get by being so drastically damaging with her words, and not one person holds her to account.
Well, I would only add one thing to that. In your face, Jessica.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.